up once a month is literally just maintenance. It's like
only once a month? Really? Seems a little low. Yeah, pretty sure it should be more than just once a month.
Bikini is underwear. It's the same way, it's the same shape, it's the same form, and it's just a different material. You say, oh, you're using it to swim. The man that actually invented the bikini was a pervert, let's be honest. He couldn't even get professional models to model it, because they said it was too scandalous, too scanty. That was back in the 60s. So what has changed? Because now culture says it's okay. Now it's okay. No, it's underwear. It's the same thing as wearing your underwear. If you wouldn't wear that to church, you wouldn't wear that outside your house, just because you're on the beach doesn't change the fact that people can see your whole body. But I say, if you're in the confinements of your villa with your husband and you guys want to get sexy or whatever, do it. But I don't think other people should be seeing what is sacred.
You and that man decide to go y'all separate ways. I don't care how great of a dad he was when he was with you. Just know that your child will not be his priority anymore. It won't. I don't care. He could have been the best dad when y'all was together and, you know, did everything he was supposed to do. But once that man move out that house and y'all decide to go y'all separate ways, your child is not a priority anymore. Especially if they dealing with somebody that got kids, you can forget it. You can forget it. It's over. Like, you're not going to get, and I'm not saying, again, not all men, but most men, when they disconnect from that mom, that child is not the first priority anymore.
This is a futuristic wife. She wakes up at 6 a.m., not because she has to, but because her nervous system is regulated. She does Pilates in a matching set and runs 3 businesses before 10 a.m. Her fridge has almond milk and sea moss. Her laptop has 5 tabs open: Amazon card, team dashboard, Canva, ChatGPT, and a flight confirmation. She doesn't raise her voice. She raises her standards. She doesn't chase. She attracts. Then she delegates. Her voice is soft, but her contracts are legally binding. She is in her soft era while leading a beauty empire with lip gloss on. She has a cleaner, a calendar, and a calling.
Honestly, a lot of these modern women will never get to this place because they're not good people. They'll never achieve this sort of success because they're, I don't want to say masculine, but they're so loud. They're so aggressive. And there's different personalities for everything. But we're not excusing bad behavior, which is what these modern women have. It's bad behavior. Well, I make more money than you. Your behavior is still bad. Well, I got a better house than you. Your behavior is still bad. You can't teach nobody. Don't nobody want to learn from you. You don't have really any morals. You're not a respectful person. You're not a person that has integrity. Men don't want to be around you. Keep all that money for yourself. I know you're looking for a husband, but you're probably not going to find one with the way that you're acting. At some point in time, money, cars, houses, clothes, and trips not going to be able to replace the need for you to be feminine. And you got to learn that.
women don't even know how to treat men because they were never taught how. Boys grew up being trained from day one. Be a gentleman, open the door, protect her, provide for her, be understanding. And if she hits you, you don't hit her back. Everywhere we looked, the message was the same. Movies, books, fairy tales. The man rescues the woman. The man saves the day. The man risks his life. The man carries the burden. And women were always the princesses, right? But there's a problem with that. We never saw the reverse. We never saw stories about how women should be treating men. No novels teaching girls how to respect a man. No movies demonstrating feminine loyalty, softness, or devotion. Parents don't even teach it. School doesn't even teach it. And society definitely doesn't teach that. So guess what happens? We have generations of women who expect everything, but were never taught to give anything back. And feminism made it worse. Instead of teaching women how to understand men, how to work in synergy, how to create polarity, it taught them to compete with the men, to fight with them, to become a man, to see softness as weakness and masculinity as toxic. So, how can a woman treat a man well if she was never shown what feminine contribution even looks like? And how can she respect him when all she grew up hearing was men are the problem? How can she love him correctly when she was taught that he owes her everything and she owes nothing in return? Men today are paying the price for a script that they didn't write. They were raised to give everything. Women were not raised to reciprocate. And the only way we fix this is by teaching the truth. Polarity is freedom. Synergy is power. Relationships only work when both people know how to love each other and live in their masculine and feminine energies. Until women learn how to treat men with respect, softness, admiration, and understanding, the imbalance is going to continue. Women, we need to do better.
95% of women who are in relationships already know which guy will be next or which guy they will be open to. Absolute fact. But every man thinks he's got a 5% woman. Let's go back to that thing. There will be no idealism.
Okay, this girl posts, asking all my Hinge matches to help me move. May the strongest man win. Now, if this was like a trap, like she invited each of them individually to come hang out, but then they show up and there's a U-Haul and 2 other men, then that would just be insidious nature. But if we take what she's saying at face value, that she simply asked and they answered, then we can't be mad at her. I mean, they have their own autonomy. If they want to compete in the Olympics for her favor, they're allowed to. I do know that this would never survive the gender swap test. Unless it does. Could you imagine a dude being like, asking all of my Bumble matches to help me make dinner? Crazy, but like imagine if he got it to happen. Kind of legendary, honestly. Like, I have to respect the hustle. Like, you might think you're hot, but are you getting 3 complete strangers to complete a $300 or so job for free for you hot? I don't know. Also, before we go, do you think it's literally strongest man wins, like Targaryen style? Even if she finds herself more emotionally compatible with one of the other men, she still has to court the one who moved the most boxes? Or does she mean strongest in heart, who keeps up the morale the best? Just kidding. She was never gonna date any of those dudes.
Absolutely not. We close those legs. We lock the feet, lock the knees, because you don't want to expose. Now keep in mind, every female doesn't want to be a lady. Some just want to do what they want to do anytime and how they want to do it. That's different. But if you profess to be a lady, and if you're in a cotillion, you're definitely a lady, you have to make sure you sit appropriately. So one, we don't sit with our legs open. Another, I'm going to shock you, a lady doesn't sit crossing her legs. That's not appropriate. She uncrossed slowly, and this is not something that I just came up with. This is a rule of thumb for protocols from way back in the day when etiquette was established. A lady doesn't cross her legs. One of the reasons is that most of the time your dress or skirt is shorter than this. When you cross your legs, you expose your outer thighs. You sometimes expose your undergarment because some of us wear Spanx. And have you ever seen an interview on TV and they cross their legs and you're just seeing all of that? You're not just sitting here and listening to what I teach them. You're taking it in because you have to apply it to your choices. Make sense? Yeah. All right. Awesome. So we don't sit with our legs open. Another way we don't sit as a lady is when you have your leg up like this. That's not ladylike at all. Exposure right there. And even if you're wearing pants, it's just not appropriate to sit with your legs open as a lady. And I've shown you how you should not sit. The proper way to sit, always up with proper posture. And this is for our gentlemen too. Keep in mind, we all have a spinal cord, and we want to train our spinal cord to be in this position, not this position. If you're slouched all the time, your spinal cord is conforming to that position. So that means when you get to be like 70, 80, because year after year you've slumped, your spinal cord will be like this, and you'll be walking like this. You won't be able to straighten up because your spinal cord has adjusted to that permanently. So you have to train your spinal cord to be in an upright position. But I don't recommend that you fold your arm either. You know why? This part of your arm is not long enough to go all the way down to your lap. So therefore, when you fold like this is what you do. you automatically collapse because you're looking for support. So because you're not doing this, you'll do this. So unfold your arms and sit up. And if you ever have a problem having proper posture, just roll your shoulders back and drop them. Let's do that now. 1, 2, gentlemen 2, you have a spinal cord. 1, 2, 3, roll them back and drop them. That leaves you in a beautiful position. Just don't pull forward.
Well, let me adjust my posture too now. Looking a little slouchy according to you. Let me listen. And I like this. I like this because you got men in the room as well. And they're learning what it looks like to be a lady. It's not loud, not boisterous, but I'm firm with you. I'm telling you what you need to do to be a lady. So young ladies are learning how to be young ladies, and young men are learning how ladies should act. And then she turned to him and she said, hey, y'all don't need to be slouchy either. Yes, ma'am. I like that. I dig that.
How hard it is to date somebody whose dad never told them no, bruh? A true daddy's girl, bro?
It's hard for us daddy's girls out here too, because every time I date a man and he want to tell me no, all I can think is, okay, but my daddy would. So why are you with me if you're not going to take the place of my father? Right? Because how come if I called my ex to come fix my flat tire, he want to say, oh, you need to learn how to do this stuff because what if I'm not around? My daddy will be around. And then he want to say in some crazy hypothetical situation, what if your daddy's not around? Well, daddy's always around, but in some rare occurrence that he's not, he pays for my AAA Gold Platinum. So either way, the tire's getting fixed. So I suggest you shut the hell up and fix my tire, boy. That should be so aggravating. Like, I'm literally just a little teenage girl. I'm not changing no goddamn flat tire. And on that note, my dad wouldn't have, he'll change my flat tire and take me out for lunch and apologize for the inconvenience. So really, you should be thanking me for allowing you to fix my flat tire. It's a good opportunity.
My gut feeling tells me this woman's gonna end up having a wonderful life. She's gonna get everything that she wants from her cats.
I was dating someone who was very secure in his masculinity, and I never had that. And although I loved the feeling of it, I just could not let myself surrender.
Yeah.
And a masculine man isn't gonna fight for his role, rightfully so, like it didn't work out.
That's very well said. Yeah, a masculine man's not going to fight for his role. I love that. It's like, what the heck? I'm not going to prove myself about this thing or have to defend myself for my own extension of my kindness. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of men who are disconnected from that will continue to display their resources for somebody who can't receive it until they realize who they're really doing it for.
This is what's wrong with society, y'all. This is what's wrong with society. They consider that a strong woman. Oh, she's standing up for herself. Aren't you worried? But I would be worried. I'd be so worried if I knew my daughter was acting like that in public. Listen, I don't know if you're watching this video, but if this video gets to you, I'm gonna tell you, girl, you're so lucky. You are so lucky. You didn't get your rocked. You are so lucky. First of all, I could tell. I'm gonna tell you real quick. You are a representation of your house, of your parents. The way you act in public, that's the way that we see your parents. So when you act like a little disrespectful, combative, rude, oh, look at me, your parents didn't raise you right, or maybe you didn't have parents at the house. Because no way in hell would a young woman raised the right way put herself in a predicament where she could be harmed severely by another man. That's not strong. Oh, you know, she's just standing up. No, she's not. That's why she has a ring on her finger. That's why that dude's next to her. Listen, a lady, a strong-minded woman, behaves herself, pays herself respect in every situation by not putting herself in harm's way. That gentleman that was just looking at her understands she was not raised the right way, because no woman on earth with good values is going to do that. The only people that would do this are disrespectful little rude who didn't have discipline at home, who have never been taught to respect your elders. Okay? I don't give a what kind of environment you were raised in. You don't do that. You don't go into somebody's face and start bickering at them, because one day you're not going to bump into the right gentleman. Somebody's going to rock you so hard, you're going to end up in Mars. And here you are with broken teeth. Oh, he attacked me. Verbal attack is still attack. You're still crossing the line. You're still crossing the line. I could press charges on you. You are being combative. You are being rude. You are harassing me. A lot of y'all weren't taught this. And that's why I'm here to tell you. Don't think that because, oh, I didn't touch him, he can't do. No, trust me. If he feels threatened, he can definitely pursue to defend himself. I don't know about y'all, but that was not strong. That is not mature. you should worry. If you have a child like that, you should definitely worry. You should have a sit down and say, listen, I'm just going to tell you one time. Those teeth, they can get punched. A woman and a man, very different anatomies. Men are stronger. Society is raising y'all's kids. And that's what's going to happen. And that gentleman that was next to her, he's not a real gentleman. If that was your son, I'm going to tell you, he's a little... Because why would you put yourself in a predicament when a woman can put you in a dangerous predicament? That's point number one. Point number two, if that's your chick, shame on you. Shame on you for not knowing how to control her and tell her, hey, you need to chill. Because that shows leadership. So many things are wrong with this video. Tell me what you saw.
A woman knows when a man is not for her, and she knows it from the very beginning.
The body tells you everything you've got to know.
Like these girls that are breaking out in hives or like crying all the time.
Hives, styes.
Yeah, like
acne.
Yes,
bad
everything,
bowel,
flare-ups,
bowel movements,
UTI stuff.
no
like,
period.
No, period. No periods come through.
Periods coming through. You are with the wrong man. It's as simple as that. Like your body will reject like the freaking yeast infections you will get.
Yes, it's so
and
crazy.
I'll go to the clinic to get tested. I've got nothing. My body does not like
Maybe
you.
he's the problem.
You are. This guy is the problem.
Literally.
My body is literally saying no. Like you do not feel safe. Because sometimes your mind does so much, you know what I mean?
And that's like, sometimes it makes sense, yeah.
Sometimes you fantasize, you see the potential.
Yes.
Your body will literally tell you no. That's why as a woman, it's so important to like do so many things to just keep yourself in tune with your body, and your body will tell you everything you've got
Literally.
to know.
How come y'all don't have these type of breakouts with men with money? How come y'all don't have these types of allergic reactions and sicknesses with Chatter Tyrone? How come? They didn't dog you out. They didn't left you sometimes with babies. But of course, you know, I guess drama from them, it's okay. But you know, when you get with a good man that's going to treat you like you're supposed to be treated, then he's not for you.
I'm a man, and I will tell my story of how I live the best possible experience of being a man, and I'll help as many men as possible, and I'll highlight the difficulties that men go through, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Do you believe in gender equality?
That's a trick question.
No, it's quite...
It's a trick question. It's fine, sir. It's fine. I've been around the block. That's a trick question. I believe the genders are different, but equally important. I believe in equality and importance. I do not believe in equality in capabilities. I do not believe a man can have a baby. I do not believe the average woman can fight combatively against the average man. I believe we're built differently. I believe God has designed us to be different. We are two halves of a whole. And when a woman is feminine and a man is masculine and we work together, we create perfect unity, which is why we're designed to be different. So do I agree in gender equality? Yes. But that term is hijacked. That term is used as a Trojan horse for pretending that all the genders can do the same things. And that's not true. This is what they do in the Western world. They hijack terms. They come along and say, you don't believe in gender equality. I say, yes, I do. I believe we're equally important. No, because you don't believe that a woman can do everything a man can do. No, I don't, because she can't. And a man can't do everything a woman can do. We do different things. So I do believe in gender equality, but I don't believe in the new version of it that they're trying to purport on the populace because it's deliberately used as a weapon.
Tell me why my homeboy just told me that all guys have tried it with another guy. But they only do it with their homeboys, and if they don't like it, then they can't tell nobody. Like, it was just try it, and they act like it never happened. I knew that was going on, because ain't no way guys just never tried it with another guy and just knew that they wasn't gay.
She's lying.
You lying ass.
Ain't nobody told her nothing like this. I really wish you women would stop coming online making up stuff to sell whatever you're trying to sell. Just come out and say this is what you believe. But stop making it up. You had to attach some dude to it to make it valid, but that is not going to work on me or any other guy out here. We know you're lying. You just made that up. That is called projecting. That's what women do. Y'all try each other out and play those type of games. Most men don't do that. I'm not saying no men do it. I'm just saying most men do not do that, okay? That is not how we get down. Like I said, there are gay men out there, so I'm pretty sure there are some men who have done that. And if we were in a world world where you were telling the truth and your friend really did say that to you, he was probably only talking about himself and you took it as all men do this. That's the only other thing that makes sense to me. He's probably talking about what him and his homeboy did and you ran with it. Either way, stop comparing making up scenarios to sell your thoughts about men. If you believe that's how all men get down, that's fine, but just say that. So you don't have to put some story behind it to make it more believable. Men do not need any type of gay test to know they're not gay. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. That's like you saying we need to be bit by a poisonous snake to know we don't like poisonous snakes. We don't wonder about it. We're not curious about it. None of that. If you're a man and you're having those thoughts, you're probably already on the other team. You just ain't got your varsity jacket yet. That's pretty much what that is. But straight men, that is not how it is. So just stop it, lady.
Men are not going to keep switching to become more like women to please women who aren't going to accept us like women.
Okay. All right. And with that being said, there should be rules and regulations.
Let's start with the first rules. How tall are you?
How tall am I? I am 5'8".
Dress size?
16.
All right, you broke the first rule right there. I don't know what you think you're talking about, that a man shouldn't cheat or whatever, when you broke the first rule that men want women who are fit. You weighed more than a man at your height. True or false? And how much do you weigh?
220.
I weigh 210 and I'm 6'4". You broke the first rule. See, you ladies don't mind breaking the rules. The men are visual. I'm sorry, you're 5'8"?
I'm 5'8".
You're about the size of Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders was. You're running back size.
Yeah.
You can hit the A gap like a.
Yeah. All right. I accept.
So don't come in here and talk about what men should not be able to do when they got to accept somebody who can run out the power I.
Okay.
I'm being silly because to make a point that modern women are so full of righteous indignation, what you are and ain't going to accept and all this other kind of stuff, when you're not even what most men want.
What's your age?
I'm 24.
How long was your last relationship?
I never had one.
You've never been with a guy in a committed situation?
Nah, I'm a whole ass virgin. Nah.
A virgin at 24?
A virgin at 24.
Why haven't you ever gone all the way with a man?
Oh, I don't know. It just never interested me enough. Like, it never got me enough where I'm like, I need this. It's like, okay, this is cool. I could dibble-dabble in this, but I'm too busy. I got to do. I got work. You feel me?
Your work shouldn't necessarily stop you from finding love.
No. I think my priority right now is just work. Everything else.
What do you think it is about your childhood that led you to have this mentality now?
I'm just Chinese and I'm from New York.
What's it like being Chinese in New York?
There's a lot of struggles, the whole racist, but like also, you just have the mentality. You're just like, I gotta make it out for my family and shit. That gotta happen.
So would you date a man who is making less than you?
No, I wouldn't want the man's money. I want my own money. I don't want it to depend on a man. You feel me?
But you'd be fine with a man depending on you.
I mean, that could work, but it's not too much. At a certain point, I just feel like I'm paying for you and everything. Now, getting the housewife character because that's what you're doing. I like to be the provider mindset. I don't mind being that.
Man, I like your tattoos.
We live in an era too where anyone can be pretty.
People don't even look how they look anymore. All the women look exactly alike. You can get surgeries, you can get the same body. It's copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Stop taking real ones for granted. Looks come and go. Anyone can look pretty. You probably have a baby with them and that baby looks so different. Go look at them people's baby pictures. Go look at their childhood photos, because a lot of these women don't even look how they look. And they're bad. They're beautiful, but they are manufactured. And that's just the world we live in right now. So the pretty can cut. Listen, I could buy pretty. I'm not the prettiest girl in the world. I know that. If I wanted to be, though, I bet you I could. I bet you I could make a few tweaks and I could be the baddest in America. But guess what? At the end of the day, looks can only get you so far in life. You got to really, really, really tap in with people who with you. You got to stop taking real ones for granted, because God is not making those like that no more.
I come from the era of shake what your mama gave you.
Right.
And this is the era of shake what the doctor gave you.
That's a bar.
This is the era of shake what the doctor
listen,
gave you.
It's no
And
shame.
I can't be mad at that.
Yeah, it's no shame in the game. I get it. Listen, we live in a world where the women are like, I get this body done, I acquire this, I can get a man that can pay for my lifestyle. All I got to do is pay for these surgeries real quick, and now I can get a man that's going to pay for my lifestyle. Now, some of you that are still working little jobs and stuff at McDonald's with BBLs, you're not doing it right, baby.
You shouldn't have to do that. That's crazy. That's weird. You shouldn't have to do that. How are y'all related? Oh, this is my son. This is my daughter. Really? Would have never even known. Now, obviously, there are situations to where your child doesn't look like you until later on, but the surgery that these women are getting, as a matter of fact, I think I have a clip in here of a man talking about a woman that looks fairly different from what she used to look like. Before, she wouldn't look all that great, but then afterwards, all right, it's all right. Y'all don't look like your children because there's surgery. Oh, well, a man should be this, a man should be that. You're not a real person. You're an android. That's what you are. Modern women, with the things that they get done, are androids. I got this shot in my face. I get this shot in my lip, this shot in my cheek. I got this shot in my chest, my butt, my hips, my whole genitalia has been changed, has been modified, has been altered. None of this on you is real at all.
Women love when they get what they want. That's it.
You need.
So there's no loyalty. Loyalty doesn't exist.
What I'm trying to say here, and any man who's been to divorce or had problems with women will agree with me and understand exactly what I'm saying. Women are loyal to how they feel. If you make them feel a certain way, then they're loyal to that feeling, which is loyal to you. Women aren't loyal to anything outside of how they feel. Men actually are more loyal than women, because men, like I said, can suffer gracefully. Women can't. Men will be loyal to a society. Men will be loyal to a race. Men will be loyal to their friends. Women can't even get along for 5 minutes amongst themselves. Men will be best friends for 50 years. Men are loyal. We know loyalty completely. We'll go die in a ditch for a flag. You want to talk about loyalty? Men are loyal. Women aren't loyal. Women are, how do I feel today? You can take a woman on a private jet to a mansion in Miami and have the best time. She'll tell you how much she loves you. And then the next day when she's mad at you, she will literally say verbatim, you never give me anything. You don't take care of me. You reject me. I'm not looked after. She'll forget 12 hours before where she had the world. Because women are only care about how they feel. They don't even think. They just feel. And what they feel is absolute gospel truth. And it matters more than society. It matters more than everything else. They don't give a shit about World War II. They don't give a shit their grandfathers died. They don't give a fuck about England. They don't give a fuck about anything because they only care about how they feel. Whereas a man might sit and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to suffer for the greater good of my race, my nation, my ideals. So men are loyal. Women love when they get what they want. That's it.
You need.
As I've been like leveling up, you know, in my career, like what's the craziest thing that's happened to you so far?
So there's this one kid, I'm not gonna mention names, he is obsessed with you. Every time I'm on the bus, he takes his phone and he goes, oh look, it's your sister. You know, and he goes like this. Oh, look at this. Yeah.
Are you okay?
Absolutely. And they ask me, is it pink? I just tell them, pay for it, find out.
16 hours? And are you paying the bills? I would just start helping myself to that. You paid for that food. That's your food. Grab that plate out of her hand. It's yours. In all seriousness, though, if a man is working 16 hours, he should never even have to touch a vacuum. He shouldn't even know how to use the vacuum. He shouldn't have to ever turn on the stove or cook himself something. If he is paying all the bills, that's what you should be doing. And I'm not talking about a situation where you might need help. You have kids or something and you need help once in a while. Not that. But so many women in these situations take their man for granted. And then when they lose him, they're confused. They don't know how to survive. And then they're like, oh, wow, what he brought to the relationship actually had value. Appreciate your person now. Not later, now. Otherwise, down the road, you're going to regret it. No one deserves to be treated like this, ever.
This guy on my OnlyFans, and he was like, oh, like, I'll pay you $50K if you send me a bag of your shit.
And you did? You sent it?
How do you think I got the Jeep?
Stop spending your money on stupid.
And I declined this one. This guy wanted me to film myself crushing hissing cockroaches with my bare feet.
Stop spending your money on stupid.
Oh my God, it's not even dirty. So someone paid me to do a video where I tied my hands up together and washed my hands with a bar of soap. And they wanted to film it. So I was like, how am I going to film this with my hands tied? I did it, but what the are you getting off on me washing my hands while they're tied up like that? I mean, that's not it, but it wasn't gross.
Stop.
They pay money to have you rate their wee-wees? Someone asked me for a rating and I told him it looked like the Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob. And he paid me and said thank you.
Spending your money on stupid.
The most unique thing I've done, just because it would be very hypocritical of me to sit here and be like, that's weird, because I am into some of the weirdest stuff. But the most unique thing I've done is probably a toss-up between someone bought my mattress off me that I had like human water fountains all over for 13 grand, and I glad wrapped it and couriered it to him. It was on the other side of the country, so that was a very unique experience. Secondarily, I once was commissioned he sent me the recipe and everything to make up 8 different colors of like Nickelodeon, like Kids' Choice Award slime, and pour it over myself in a bathtub fully clothed. That's probably one of my favorite things I've ever done.
Stupid.
Okay, to the right of me, we have a woman who looks okay. I would rate her average at best of 5. And most women will probably agree with me, right? Most guys too. Now, I just want to say, a lot of women will say, oh, she's beautiful just the way she is, right? Yeah, I know you would. Now, that's how she looked before the surgery. Yeah. Now, you probably think I'm trying to bash her or whatever, but I didn't have to bash her for her to have to go get surgery. Now, this is before. You see that? Chopped. And this is after. I don't know this woman from a hole in the wall, but she went to go get the surgery for what? Because there is a way to tell if somebody is objectively pretty. All the women who out there delusional and lying to themselves, who would you rather look like? The lady on the right or the lady on the left? Just to let you know that the lady on the right is still the same as the lady on the left. It's just that this lady on the left had surgery to look like the lady on the right. Now, I know we'll probably smash anything walking, but let's be real. Which would you rather? Would you rather this or that? I'm saying all that to say this. A lot of women in the comments be like, oh, you're so mean and she's beautiful just the way she is. I guarantee it. I bet any amount of money that you would not want this face compared to this face. Because anytime a woman says, oh, she's beautiful just the way she is, how about you look like that for the rest of your life?
So this is one of those child support videos that will piss off a lot of people.
I just saw a video and it just seemed very pick-me. I don't know why people always have an opinion about child support. She's like, oh, I was talking to my friend who has 50-50 custody and she said she was going to put her ex on child support. So she's like, oh, what happened? Do you guys not have 50-50 anymore? She's like, no, we do, but I'm still gonna put him on child support. And she's like, oh, this is where I don't agree. Like, if you guys have 50-50, you shouldn't put him on child support. Wrong. If there is a significant difference of income, you put the other parent on child support if they are not willingly helping you out already. Child support is not just for the deadbeat partners. There's very present parents that still pay child support. My fiance, for instance, if one partner was the breadwinner and the other partner doesn't make as much, even if they have 50-50 custody, the child support is so the households are balanced. It's maintaining the same lifestyle for the child in both homes. Say your doctor husband cheats on you and you've never worked a day in your life and now you need to go out into the workforce and you find like a retail job. Even in California, minimum wage is pretty high, but it's not enough to sustain you. So say you find a job that pays $20 or $25 an hour and your doctor husband is making $100 an hour, making so much more money than you. Even if you have 50-50 custody, your lifestyles are not going to be the same. You're not going to be able to maintain for your children. Yes, he's going to still pay child support. This is not up for discussion, up for debate. Like, why would you even think that? Now, obviously, if you guys are making similar income, child support is probably not going to be granted. Hello? If child support gets granted, it's for a reason. Somebody doesn't just get to say like, oh, I want child support, grant it to me. Like, no, there's a process. You got to turn in all of your income, bank statements, assets, everything. And that gets evaluated. Like, I don't know, videos seem very pick me because like, I was reading the comments and the guys are like, yeah. Shut up, losers. Real men will support their children no matter what, even if it's 50-50. They're going to provide.
Now, while watching her video, my argument was, what do you consider a significant amount of money? And also, did y'all know that a lot of people don't know that you pay in a 50-50? They just assume that if you get a 50-50, you don't pay. And then when they get in a 50-50, they're like, wait, I'm paying? Oh, and you know how people say that men like to hide money under the tables? Mom can do the same thing. She can say she's not working, then actually start working after you do the financial affidavit. So there's a lot of finesses and a lot of ways to finesse the system. I don't know why we just think it's only men that finesse the system. You can finesse the system. You can get a 50-50 and, have it say that you're not working, but you're really working, or, you can look underemployed. Like you could just have a job that you're not reporting.
A woman's mental load is fake. It is a crock of a woman's mental load is made up, and it is a crock of it is a woman's anxieties that she's put upon herself, and she's taken on more responsibility, and she uses it to self-sacrifice herself as if she's doing more in the relationship to make you feel like. Most women will take on more and more responsibility without ever having to ask, and they will take on this responsibility as if there's some kind of mortar to the relationship, and the only way the relationship is working out is because she does it all. It's also made up so when she's ready to divorce your ass or needs an excuse to leave you, she has it on a silver platter with a laundry list of expectations and imaginary standards that you didn't even know about, so when she's ready to leave, she'll dump your ass. And it's all just one big manipulation tactic to use it against you later on for not doing enough in the relationship, even though it's all her made up anxieties in the first place. And what's crazy is that some of these women are so delusional is that they use this kind of mental load talk to pretend like they're like oppressed in their relationships because they're taking on too much of responsibilities. Like, so now you're oppressed and your husband or boyfriend is not doing enough because, let me guess, you're thinking about all of the responsibilities that you simply have to do it as an adult. You're resentful and angry about it. Like, can someone make that make sense? Somehow that's your husband's fault for taking on all this imaginary workload to make yourself feel like you're doing more in the relationship as a self-serving act just to use it against him later. As if that's not manipulative. And what's actually crazy is that men do struggle with mental load. This is the exact same mental load that men have, but guess what? Men are told to shut the hell up. They have no support, and they've been told to be quiet since birth. Okay, bye.
But it would still work out because he would be providing all of the overage that the children need, right? If the children cover his house, then they would get majority of stuff anyway. What you're trying to do is have the money flow through you. You're trying to control the situation. You're trying to say, well, basically, they need to live the same over here as they do over there. I could see if there was like a disparity in the way that y'all lived, like a huge disparity, but there isn't. And actually, I can't even see that. If I'm working and I'm hustling as a man, and I'm doing it for myself and for my kids, I'm not doing it for you. If we're not married anymore, You honestly and truly don't mean anything to me. So I'm not going to work for you. You need to hustle like I do. You need to get your own like I did. When they come to my house, they have access to everything that belongs to me. When they go over to your house, they have access to everything that belongs to you. When they come to my house, I take care of them. They get certain privileges or whatever it is. Now I might want to, and y'all like to think because I have more money, then everything is great. Everything is fantastic. They can just come over and have a field day. But a lot of these parents that have money, they weren't rich before. So I'm teaching you discipline when you come over here. I'm teaching you how to start a business or run a business or how to be financially disciplined or disciplined at life, period. Because I don't want you to be a bum. I don't want you to be a loser. So when you come over here, yeah, you have better perks or a nicer place to sleep. Maybe have a basketball court in the back or a pool in the backyard. I've seen that before. One of my friends, well, not even my friend, they got a young man that I used to mentor. His dad made a lot of money. And when they bought the house, I think they had a pool and then they had a court in the backyard. You might have that. But he was, I don't want to say tough, but he definitely expected them to work. He definitely expected them to get a job, little things here and there. He put them in little activities and it was their job and they were pretty good at it. I'm not gonna lie. They were pretty good at it to be good at whatever they were supposed to be doing. Any and every extracurricular activity, you can play the game. I don't know if they had TV, but you can play the game and have your fun. You can go out there and watch TV or go out there and play basketball. You're not gonna spend all day in the house. You're going to get outside. You're going to make friends. You're going to talk to people like a normal person. You're going to be involved. So just because they go into his house and he got more money doesn't mean they're going to be spoiled. Like I said, they might get access to better perks, but they might be working for those perks. So he don't owe you nothing just because he makes more money. That's your entitlement.
So what are the corrections that you're looking for specific?
Force. Because that's the only thing that's going to work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of like, what do you want to see?
Well, we
change?
believe that there is no hope for them. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say. If they could not exist, hey, we wouldn't be mad.
Like you said, I haven't heard on the opposite end black men saying anything as harmful or as hateful as the type of rhetoric I'm hearing from black women. Their version of we hate women is us being critical of them.
Many black women were being used as tools and right-hand mans of white supremacy. If you're a black man, those statements aren't coming out of a vacuum. This ideology isn't coming out of a vacuum. There are people that are women are listening to that's causing and creating much of the divide that we're talking about. And they're supporting them. They're working together. They're looking out for each other. And then when it comes to politics, they vote in alignment.
And they pretty much got it now. I know I can't make a man do what I want a man to do. So I'm going to have to force him to do what I want him to do. This is what Kevin Samuels talked about: shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. No longer is it working for me to call him gay, for me to call him sassy, for him to say, or for me to say to him, well, you're not a real man. A real man would do this. And as a man, it's not working. He's ignoring me. Everything that I've been saying, I'm being ignored. So I've got to partner with a group that I know does not like me in order to get this man to do what I want him to do, in order to make him bow down. I'll be sitting on the sideline watching this man get taken advantage of. And then I'll come over and scream and holler once he's subdued, spit in his face, kick him while he's down, and say, now look, I've got the power over you. When in fact, I don't. And even then, I don't know that I'm playing a dangerous game, because at some point in time, when the man gains his strength back, he's going to figure out a way to get up out of the situation that he's in. And the first person he's going to come for is, And now we've got a man on a revenge tour. And now we're saying how men are aggressive and they're lashing out, and men aren't controlled. Their emotions aren't controlled anymore. But this is, why are we not talking about this? Why are we not talking about this? Where somebody is actively going to another group and saying, hey, We want force to make these men do what we want them to do. But then when a man blows his top and says that's not happening, when a man gets irate, when he gets loud, and all of a sudden the boom in his voice got you, you're shaking a little bit, got your heart pumping a little bit faster than you thought it would on a Sunday night. All of a sudden we got a problem and we need to put these men in jail. All of a sudden men's anger is a problem. Anger management needs to be for all men. The court, the judges, the law enforcement, everybody needs to take a look at what just happened today. And this is why women don't like men and da. But here we have, after we sitting up here analyzing events where men go crazy and they go berserk and they go out there like, man, this is a heinous crime. What made him do this? What's making men move over to the right? What's making men vote conservative? What's making men pull away from society? Yeah, these men, they need to work on themselves. Yeah, these men, they really need to go to therapy. Stupid. What we just heard. Y'all, they're never going to say that. They're never going to. We just heard a woman sitting up online. This not even something that we gotta act like don't even exist. This not even something that we gotta fake or manufacture or doctor up. It's right here for us in 4K. Yeah, I want force. I want to be able to control the man. And when a man say that's not going to happen, and I got little friends to help me, to help you to understand that it's not going to happen. Ooh, he's a threat. Ooh, he's so dangerous. Yeah, y'all was saying a bunch of nonsense about me, and I bought something to help me get my message across. Because you trying to get somebody else in here and come up on me and jump all over me when I'm sleeping or when I'm walking down the road, when I'm in the gym. I don't know what you got up. So let me tell you what. Give me a couple minutes and let me go on head back to the car. Let me go ahead, call my friends in. And we ain't got to wait. It ain't going to be 20 minutes till they get here. It ain't even going to be about 5 minutes till they get here. You just let me get to the car. It's going to be about 30 seconds to a minute. And they're going to be right beside me. Don't worry about it. Now it's a problem. And I'm not advocating for anything. I'm not saying that anything should happen. I'm just saying men's brains work in a certain way when survival is on the table. Y'all better start letting sleeping dogs lie. Leave men alone. Y'all got this nonsense coming up. Leave men alone. I'm telling you,